What we're going to be doing is pulling up the lino, the old lino that's in this room here, because we want to rejuvenate the area in this room. So pulling up the old lino, put out some really nice flooring in here. So various tools that we've got in this job. We've got a wide scraper to help us scrape and get underneath the lino. A heat gun, sometimes that will help soften the adhesive, the old glues, and of course our big powered belt sander. We've got a sharp knife here as well to help us cut the lino up, and of course our very important safety gear. The best way to start on the room is look for a corner or a section of the lino that is already lifting up and start from there. Continue with my broad scraper just to get underneath there, help me get it up. So this is going under quite easily, but what I'm also going to do is use my sharp knife and just score the lino into manageable sizes. For me, this is probably about 600 millimetres by 600 millimetres. Nice small size, but at the same time big enough where I'm not going to be wasting my time cutting little squares up as well. As you can see, a bit of a wiggle. But you can see where it also separates quite easily, and I can just peel that straight off. So you can see the amount of paper that is in the backing of this lino. So this is where the grunt work or the hard work of the job will be, removing this paper backing. Continue with the scraper as much as we can, trying not to damage the timber floorboards underneath as well. Get as much of this off as we can with the scraper before we move to the big belt sander to actually take the rest of it off. It is quite labour intensive, but doing it yourself is what it's all about. Not only do you save money by doing it yourself, but you get that satisfaction of the job that you have done yourself. If you were to sand a bit too early, you're not really going to make it much faster, because what will happen is the sandpaper on the sander will actually clog up with the paper. So you need to get as much of this off with the big scraper as you can. As you can see, we've had to bring out the big guns here, the heat gun. We have been working okay with the metal scraper, but there is still a lot of debris here and it's quite hard to get up. So the heat gun will soften the glue underneath the paper, soften it enough that we can then use the scraper to get underneath there. Just be aware that there are fumes involved, so wear a good dust mask and also make sure that the paper doesn't ignite. Just watch the colour of the paper as we're going. You'll soon see when it starts to change colour, that's when we get in with the scraper. As you can see, I've conquered this little square of flooring that I've done. Got most of the paper up. So the next step now is to use the power sander. I'm using a big belt sander. And again, safety, my dust mask, I've got safety glasses, and in this case I'll also use some ear protection. I've got some earmuffs, so let's do that. Start with a coarse grade, and as you work you go to a finer grade, so start with a low number paper to a higher number paper. And as you can see, I'm moving the sander up and down the same direction as the grain of the floorboards. So I've been sanding for a while now and I've got the residue of that glue off there and it's all quite smooth now. The floorboards are actually coming up really nice. This is just a snapshot of what this will look like. As a DIY job though, I'd be doing the whole room, get all the lino off the whole room in one go and then attacking it all with a sander. So this is the way to go. Once you've got all this off, you never know, the floorboards under here might be magnificent. Good polish, bit of polyurethane on them, beautiful timber floors.